Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from what you're looking at and also from the title of this video, it is going to be my foundation declutter. I have been dreading this video. My foundation drawer has definitely been overflowing for sure. And I also didn't realize how many shades I have of each foundation. So this is gonna be a declutter. I'm hoping to get rid of more than half of these is really my goal. But what's really cool about today's video is it's actually in collaboration with Faith Drew here on YouTube. So what's really cool is we're actually doing a foundation declutter battle. So she is doing a foundation declutter over on her channel, and we're actually going to see who does better with the declutter, who gets rid of more. Obviously, we're not gonna have the same number of foundations, but kind of percentage-wise, who did better. So I haven't seen her video yet. She hasn't seen mine, so we have no clue how many each other actually ended up decluttering out of their collection, which I think is really fun. If you guys have never checked out Faith's channel, I definitely recommend you check her out. She is seriously a sweetheart and she does some amazing, amazing videos. And if you guys enjoy my content, I definitely think you will enjoy hers. So go ahead and show her some love. Tell her I sent you. Check out her declutter. I, of course, will have it linked down below. And let's go ahead and get started with my foundation declutter. All right, so like I said, I do have a lot in here that is kind of replicas. Like, I didn't realize how many I had from the same brand that are just different shades. So I think that this is gonna make the declutter a bit easier as to what shades to keep, which ones not to keep. I'm kind of over the whole keeping a lot of shades in each foundation because I feel like a lot of times I haven't really been self-tanning anymore either. So I feel like a lot of times I'm not even using the deepest shades that I do have. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with this one from Rimmel London. This is their Stay Matte. This is the Liquid Mousse Foundation, and I have it in 3 different shades. They sent me 3 different shades, and I actually tried out the shade Porcelain Ivory, and I really didn't like this foundation. I didn't like the way it sat on my skin. I feel like it was really, really thick, and I just didn't like it at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually declutter all of these shades. If you guys are wondering what I do with any of the products that I am decluttering, for the most part, I gift these to friends if I've only used them a few times. Obviously, if they're beat up or there's not much in them, I will toss them. But the majority of these products are gonna be gifted to friends and family. Up next, I have the No Filter Foundation from Colourpop. Now, this is one that I do like the coverage of this foundation. I really enjoy it, but this shade is so wrong for me. It's really, really orange. I don't even think, honestly, it would work for me in the summertime. This is in medium 90, so I am gonna go ahead and declutter this one, but I do wanna pick up a correct shade in this because I do really like the foundation. I just think the shade match for me is really off. Up next from It Cosmetics, I have the CC. This is the Color Correcting Full Coverage Cream, and I do really, really like the coverage of this one. I don't reach for it all too often. I use it more, I feel like, in the summertime. Even knowing this has really, really great coverage, I do feel like it's a little bit lighter on my skin, so I don't wear it all the time, but I am gonna keep this one to wear it more in the spring and summer months. We have the Can't Stop, Won't Stop foundation from NYX. Now, I didn't like this one. I bought it, so I was able to try it out. I was really excited about this foundation. One, the shade is really, really bad for me, but I did try it out quite a few times, like even with the shade being so bad. I kind of wore it at home. I wore it even out. I don't know. I just didn't really love the way it sat on my skin. I just feel like it was a bit thick and it just isn't my favorite coverage, and I don't think I need to keep it in my collection. From Covergirl, we have the Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. I do really enjoy this one. I think the coverage is nice on here. It's a nice and affordable foundation, and I do really enjoy this, especially in the summertime. It's a very luminous finish, so I really do like this one. Next, from the brand Il Makiage, we have the Woke Up Like This foundation. This is another one that I just didn't love the way it sat on my skin. I feel like it was a bit thick. I prefer more of a medium to full coverage foundation, but when they are so like high coverage that they are very like sticky on the skin and they're just kind of crepey, I don't like that feeling, and I feel like this foundation kind of made me feel like that, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter it. From Catrice, I have the HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. I really, really like this one. I actually have been using this one probably the most out of all of my foundations right now. I really, really like it. They don't have the best shade range in this foundation, but it is more of a mattifying foundation without being too matte. So hopefully they are going to expand the shade range, but if you can find your shade in this foundation, I would definitely recommend checking it out. Super affordable, and you can find it at Ulta. From Purelease, I have their BB. This is their tinted moisturizing cream, and I actually really love this. I'm not a big fan of CC creams or BB creams. I just feel like I prefer more coverage when it comes to my foundation, and this one has amazing coverage, but it still feels so lightweight on the skin. It does have SPF 30 in it. I highly recommend this one if you guys are looking for a really nice BB cream, but you still want a lot of nice coverage, because I feel like this one really gives me great coverage. It reminds me of a foundation without feeling heavy on my face and also giving me that SPF. So I highly recommend this one from Purelease. I have two different shades from the Photo Focus foundation from Wet n Wild, and I know that this shade right here, Desert Beige, is way too dark on me, and the Buff Bisque actually isn't the best match for me either. I do really like this foundation, and I like keeping it in my collection to reference because it's super affordable, but I seem to not be able to find the right shade for me. I think that the coverage, or I think that the shade range on this foundation isn't very good, but I am going to go ahead and hold on to this one, and I'm going to declutter this darker one because I know it doesn't match me. From Benefit, I have their Hello Happy foundation. I have mine in the shade 4 and also in the shade 3. I do really like this. I like the coverage of it. I like the way it looks on my skin. I do reach for it quite often. The shade 4 is too dark for me though, so I am going to go ahead and pass this one along, and I'm going to keep the shade number 3. I do not, like I said, self-tan as much as I used to before, so a lot of these foundations are in deeper shades when I used to self-tan a lot, but I've kind of been over that lately, so I'm gonna just kind of hold on to the ones that match me. And then up next from NYX, these are their Total Control Drop Foundations, and I do really like this. So I have a shade that matches me. This one is the beige shade, and then also a really pale shade. I like mixing these two together. I like mixing this pale shade with other foundations just to kind of lighten them, so I am gonna keep both of these. Up next from Becca, I have the Skin Love Weightless Blur Foundation. So this is one that I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on. People love it or hate it, and I'm one of those people that didn't love it. This just didn't work out well for my skin. I feel like it's too, I don't know how to even explain it. It's very sticky, and the coverage on it isn't the best. I feel like, I don't know, there's just something about this foundation that just doesn't agree with my skin, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. We have the Bounce Foundation from Beauty Blender. I need to clean mine. It's really gross. That's why I was trying not to turn it over. This is the one that you kind of just push out and then you put your Beauty Blender on here. I thought the packaging was really genius and I really liked it, but honestly, you guys, I'm so lazy that I find myself not cleaning this, and then I have to clean it before I use it, so it's kind of like a whole process. But I do really enjoy the coverage of this foundation. I really like it, so I am going to hold on to it. I know that they did just expand the shade range in this as well, so if you've been wanting to try it out and you haven't been able to find your shade, maybe check it out now that they've expanded. From Marc Jacobs, we have the Genius Gel Foundation. This is another one that was really, really thick on me, and I do not like thick foundations, so I am going to declutter this one. We have my Estee Lauder Double Wear. I absolutely love, love, love this foundation. It's one of my favorites. I have two different shades from them. So I have the Cool Bone shade and then also the Warm Vanilla. And the Cool Bone is a little bit deeper than the Vanilla shade, so I do still want to hold on to both of these. I actually just got a pump on this one because it is just a foundation that you do have to dump out. That's the only con when it comes to this foundation, but the coverage is really nice of it, and I really, really enjoy this one. I have up next, this is from Dior. This is the Forever Foundation, and I did like the way this looked on my skin, but this shade is so, so wrong for me. I got this sent to me from Octali, so I couldn't return it or anything, and I do really like the coverage of this one and everything, but the shade is so bad that I honestly don't think I could wear it again. It's very, very orange on me, so unfortunately I am going to pass this along to someone who will get use out of it, since it's such a high-end foundation, and it is really nice. I don't know if I love it enough to repurchase it in like my correct shade because I feel like it is so expensive, but it was a nice foundation, but I am going to pass it along to someone else who will get better use out of it. From Lancome, I have their Tinto Lee foundation. I absolutely adore this. It's one of my favorites. I have a shade for the winter months and also a summer shade, and I am going to keep both of these. They both work out for me in those months, so I love this one. It's super, super nice on the skin. I'm going to keep these. You guys know one of my favorite foundations ever is the Born This Way from Too Faced. I have 3 different shades in this foundation. So I have the light beige, warm beige, and vanilla. I use all 3 of these at different seasons and at different points. Such a good foundation. I'm going to hold on to all 3 of these. Up next from Cargo Cosmetics, this is their Longwear Swimmables foundation. I did a whole video on this collection. It is all actually waterproof and you can wear all of it like in the pool, swimming, and I did test it all out, but this is a thicker foundation again, and I don't really really see myself needing to wear like foundation in a pool or anything, so I am gonna go ahead and declutter this. So we have all of the CoverGirl foundations. You guys know they sent me a giant PR package, and I mostly gifted all of the shades out of that PR package away, but I did hold on to a few. So the shade that I currently use is the Light 60, so I'm definitely gonna hold on to this shade. I love this foundation, I love the wear of it. And then I also have a few deeper shades here I was thinking I would use in the summertime. So this one here, this is M70. I'm definitely not gonna be dark enough to wear the M70 shade. I'm gonna keep the M20, I think. This is supposed to be medium 20, and then get rid of the M40, because again, I don't see me getting this dark. So I'm just gonna hold on to the two shades, so the M20 and the L60 shades, and then get rid of those other two. From LA Girl, I have their Pro Coverage HD foundation, and I did really like this, but again, the shade match is so bad. You guys, sometimes I feel like I buy foundations, the shade is so wrong, and instead of just returning it, I just somehow collect it and never use it. So this is one that I did that with, so I am gonna declutter it. One of my favorite foundations in my collection, this is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation. I really, really like this one, so I'm gonna hold on to it. Up next, we have this one from Rimmel London. This has quickly became one of my favorite drugstore foundations. I love this one so much. The coverage on it is really nice. I use the shade Classic Ivory, and I do have two other shades here that they did send over. So I have True Beige and then Golden Honey. So I am gonna keep the True Beige shade just in case I need it in the summertime. And then I'm gonna get rid of the Golden Honey because I don't think I'm ever gonna get this dark. And I know my friend is this exact shade, so I'll give that to her. I have a few here from Neutrogena. So this is their Hydro Boost Hydrating Tint, and I do really like the coverage on this. I think it's a really nice foundation. I like the wand on it. I have a deeper shade that I use here to contour with, and then I have a shade of foundation that I like. So I am gonna actually keep both of these. They do have hyaluronic acid in it, and I feel like they feel really hydrating and nice on the skin. From Makeup Forever, I have their Ultra HD foundation. Honestly, this has been in my collection for so long, and I think that mine is pretty much gone anyways, and I don't really love this foundation, so I'm gonna actually toss this one because I'm pretty sure I've had it for years and it's ready to go. So from MAC, I have their Studio Fix Fluid, and you know, everyone raves about this foundation and says how amazing it is. Honestly, you guys, I feel like it smells like paint, one, and two, it just isn't my favorite. Like, I know this used to be like the OG, everyone's favorite, and everyone still talks about how good it is. But for me, it was just never a favorite. It was never something that I feel like I need in my collection. So I am going to pass this one along. Okay, tell me how I accumulate this mini Maybelline Fit Me's. Like why is this necessary? First off, I haven't been the shade 228 in so long, so both of those obviously need to go. The 128 shade is the shade that I currently use. So I think I have two 128s here, and then I'm assuming that is which one has the pump on it as well. Yeah, so I have three 128s and then two 220s. I'm gonna get rid of the 220s as well because I know I'm not gonna be that shade. I am gonna hold on to the three 128s though because I do love this foundation and that is my perfect shade, so I'm gonna keep those. From Stellar Beauty, we have their Limitless foundation. You guys have heard me talk about this a lot on my channel. I really, really like the coverage on this one. Really enjoy it. I will be keeping this. I have this foundation here from Dalton. This is called their Hydro Balm Serum Foundation, and it is actually just like one of those compact foundations, but when you use it, it actually is a cream foundation. So I really, really like this one. You can apply it all over your face and then blend it in with your beauty blender. It's only like one of the few foundations that has this style compact that I do like. There is another one in my collection. This one here is from Laneige, and this one is kind of the same concept, besides this one is more of a cushion foundation, and I do really like this one as well. I really like the coverage on it. So these are only two like that style of components that I have of foundation, but I do really like both of these. From Lila B, this is their B Original Cream Foundation. This foundation was a big mess for me. I don't really know who particularly likes this thick of a foundation because honestly, this was even hard to blend out with anything I tried. I just don't think that it's really flattering. It looked really heavy on the skin, so I am gonna get rid of this one. Hourglass, I have their Vanish Stick Foundation. Now this is one that I purchased because everyone and their mother talks about how amazing this foundation is, but honestly, you guys, I just didn't really care much for it. I just never use it. It wasn't one that I really liked. I don't feel like I need it in my collection. I hardly ever reach for it, so I am gonna declutter it. I have another Makeup Forever. This one is their Ultra HD Stick, and I am just not really a fan of stick foundations in general, same with the Hourglass one, but I've also had this one a really long time, so I think I need to actually throw this one out. Great foundation from Nars. This is their Radiant, I forget what this is called, Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. I feel like it has a long name. This is really, really nice. The coverage on it's really nice. I feel like the shade matches me really well. I really enjoy this one. From Cover FX, I have their Natural Finish Foundation, and this is one that I remember liking, but honestly, I can't even tell you the last time that I picked this up to use it, so I am gonna actually declutter this one. I am doing so much better than I thought I was gonna do. We've gotten rid of so many foundations. I do still wanna get rid of hopefully a couple more, but looking at this pile, like I know I like a lot of these. This one here is from Ulta. This is their Demimatte foundation, and I actually tried this one out in a video, I believe, and I did like it, but honestly, I don't think I've used it since that video. So I think I'm actually gonna get rid of this one. I have a few here from Dalton. So I have the Hydro Gel Foundation and then also the Hydro Luxe Foundation. I really like these. I love a lot of Dalton's products, especially their complexion products. I feel like they do those really well. So I am gonna keep both of these. Up next from L'Oreal, we have the Pro Matte and then also the Pro Glow. I like both of these. I like them for different reasons. I feel like they both look really nice on my skin, so I am gonna keep these. From Physicians Formula, I have the Healthy Foundation, and I hear a lot of people saying how much they love this one. I don't know. I don't reach for it. I don't know if that's because I don't love it. I do feel like it looks okay on my skin. I never feel like it doesn't look good. I don't know if it's the shade match. I feel like the shade match is a little off for me. It's a little bit light, but I don't reach for this one, so I am actually gonna get rid of this one. And we just have 3 left right here, and I honestly am gonna keep all of these. So we have the Next to Nothing. This is from MAC. This is a very, very sheer coverage foundation, but I like using this for mixing purposes. I mix it with other foundations. I really like it. We have the Skin Clearing one from Neutrogena. This is a really, really good one. It's actually supposed to treat your skin as you use it, so it's really, really nice. And then I have this one from Josie Maran. This is the Vibrancy Foundation, which isn't my absolute favorite, but I still do like having it in my collection. It's nice and glowy. I like using it in the summertime. All right, you guys, so here are all the foundations I went ahead and got rid of. We got rid of 28 foundations. I am so proud of myself. That was so many. And here are all the foundations we decided to keep. So we kept 37, and I am getting rid of 28. So that puts us, I believe, at around 42% that we got rid of. We did good. I'm pretty proud of myself. Looking at this pile of all the ones I got rid of makes me feel way better. I'm gonna be able to fit them so much better into my storage and know that I'm really keeping shades that I'm gonna use and also foundations that I really love. I hope you guys enjoyed this declutter. Make sure you guys head over to Faith's channel and check out how she did with her declutter, what her percentage was. Of course, I'm gonna have it linked down below for you guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also, don't forget to subscribe before you go, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, friends.